Greetings, everybody, and welcome to Think and Be Well's Thoughtful Thursdays. I am Rice and Nazaire. I'm here to bring you some mindset shifts that activate your personal growth and expansion. And every week, we do this through our Thoughtful Thursdays. Hold that thought. Hold that thought invites you to investigate and explore a nugget of wisdom that is so simple yet transformative that it shifts perceptions just enough to open the door of endless possibilities. That's a door that we've kept shut because of our limited beliefs, whether they are beliefs that we have learned along the way as we experience life, or beliefs that were forced upon us by programming through our culture, through familiar life, just culture in general. And we are able to transcend those. Today's hold that thought is embracing change with grace is a quiet revolution within where you choose trust and fear and flow over resistance. Embracing change with grace is a quiet revolution within where you choose trust over fear and flow over resistance. So hold that thought for a moment and see what that means to you. Because intellectually, we know that change is a natural state of being. It's going to occur with life. As long as we're living, we're going to have change, and it's inevitable. Just as the sun rises and sets, it's inevitable. Yet, emotionally, we often resist change and we cling to what feels familiar and what feels safe. And when we do this, we're creating an inner tension, anxiety, and we'll cause ourselves to feel stuck. But what if instead of resisting, we could learn to embrace change with ease? And what if we could see it not as a disruption, but as an opportunity, as a sacred invitation to evolve and to grow? And that's where the inner revolution comes in, because the inner revolution allows us to embrace change with grace in a quiet way. It's a quiet revolution where we're choosing trust over fear and flow over resistance. It's a shift in perspective where trust in yourself transforms fear into curiosity and openness. And that courage to trust is something that grounds us in moving forward. And then we can begin to release that resistance that would automatically come up. And instead of paddling or swimming upstream against the flow, we are able to be in our canoe with our paddle and flow downstream with the river and flow with the natural flow of life so that we're in alignment with life and continue to move forward with that commitment to our self-growth. And so let's talk about some steps in embracing change. As a first step, we want to pause and breathe, because initially our first reaction may be to tense up, to contract, and to reject. And so we want to breathe through that initial reaction and allow ourselves to relax and open up to possibility. And then we can start to reframe our perspective, because attitude and perspective changes the experience of everything. And instead of asking, why me? It's always, and saying it's always something going on, we can shift that perspective to say, what message does this change have for me? Does it serve me? And how is it working for me instead of how it's working against me? And then we'll release control. We surrender to the present moment, surrender to what it is before us because it already is what it is. And there's not much that we could do about that except surrendering to the present moment or rejecting the present moment. And which one feels better? Like allowing the present moment and surrendering to how we feel about the present moment. If the situation is too much for us, just allow us ourselves to feel what it is that we feel. And trust that life has a way of working out for us. And so we can remain open and curious because we have the perspective that life has a way of working out for us. And when we don't see the way forward, we can still seek support because whatever it is that we're going through, someone has been through it before and has some experience to share that we can either take or not take. Either way, it's going to be perspective to help us align with what works for us. And sometimes that support may come in the form of professional support. So be open to that as well when change may feel traumatic. So here's some steps for embracing change. Just an exercise that will help you work through making changes that feel resistant, where resistance shows up for you. So first step is to prepare your space. We want it to be a sacred space because it's a space where we're allowing ourselves to sit and make a shift and shift the energy around us. So we start by lighting a candle and or some incense to clear the energy of the space, and then start with some 4-4-6 breathing. And that's 4 breaths in, breathing in deeply from the diaphragm, and then we hold that for 4 counts to allow that oxygen to flow throughout the body and regenerate all of our cells, to oxidize all of those cells. And then the 6 count breath out, where the breath out is longer than the breath in, is to kick in the parasympathetic nervous system so that we can relax and restore. So once you're relaxed, then you can get into grounding yourself. So one way of grounding is imagining that you have roots extending from your feet down into the earth, and those roots are holding you firm. The earth has you. Mother Nature has your back. And with that, you can further relax into this exercise and take the next step and reflect and release to write down any resistance or fears around what's coming up for you currently in your life. And the next step is to set an intention where you're speaking out loud or writing down the following or something similar, whatever it is that works for you. I trust the flow of life. I'm open to the opportunities that change brings. You want to say that 3 times. I trust the flow of life. I am open to the opportunities that change brings. I trust the flow of life. I am open to the opportunities that change brings. So instead of resisting change, we've shifted. We are flowing with life. And instead of rejection to change, we're open to the opportunities that change brings. And then visualize yourself relaxing into change and watch the tension just be removed from your body, and You feel your shoulders dropping, your forehead is relaxing, your eyes relax, your whole body is moving into a relaxation mode. And then you just want to continue this exercise until you can feel the tension and the stress being released from your body. And once you've done that, you can close out with gratitude and be ready to move forward with the paradigm shift of moving through change in a light and relaxed manner, trusting the flow of life and being open to the opportunities that life brings and change brings. So some advice as you move along your journey with change is to walk the path with courage and grace. Change is going to happen, and instead of being fearful, we can approach it with courage and the grace that comes with trusting in life. Embrace change as a sacred teacher. What is this change trying to teach me? How is it allowing me to grow? Where in my life can I evolve as a result of this change? There's always something there that's going to be a higher elevation. And then find harmony with the flow of life as we find the open possibilities and walk through the door of those possibilities of where change is going to be for us instead of against us. We align with the natural flow of life. And that allows us to, in the future, embrace unknowns with curiosity and openness. When that resistance and rejection might come up initially, we can remind ourselves that when I embrace change with curiosity and openness, I open up the door of possibility for solutions to come forth. And remember that each moment of our life is an opportunity to choose how you respond to the unfolding of life because change is a constant. So embrace change, and thrive in it. Thanks for joining me on Thoughtful Thursdays. If you liked it, let me know, like, share, and follow me on social media at Think Be Well Now. And check out my website, raisatheauthor.com, services where you'll find my books, programs, journals that I have created, and journaling programs. I'm also a speaker who activates people into the fullness of their possibility, and I do some coaching as well. So you can find me at raisatheauthor.com. And please like, follow, and share on social media if you're not already following me. And until next Thursday, I'll see you with the next Hold That Thought.